when it comes to stuff like this, I think it's really important that you mentally swap the people out in your head to figure out how you feel about it, because we have a huge problem right now in this country with actually having principled positions on any fucking issue whatsoever. So I think that when people are trying to think like, should Trump get arrested for this? Like, think like, if it was Hillary Clinton, would you feel the same? If it was AOC, would you feel the same? If it was DeSantis, would you feel the same? I think it's really important to do these mental swaps to check for honesty, to make sure that it's not just, like you said, like all partisan politics at the end of the day.
I agree.
Especially when legal systems are involved.
I agree, but I don't think it's principles. I don't think anyone's principled at all.
Yeah, I am.
But I'm not saying that.
I am too.
I'm not saying that from like a dejected, sense, or like I'm jaded and blackpilled. I'm saying it that people genuinely don't understand the moral philosophies around principles and their positions. So the example I often give is when it came to Florida on the parental rights and education bill, you had conservatives being like, parents have the final say in whether or not their kids are being exposed to this stuff and whether or not their kids are going to get these treatments. The teachers have no right to withhold that information from the parents. And then my response is, in Washington, they completely agree that the parents have final say. So when the parent says the child should get sex change surgery, the government should not be allowed to intervene to stop it. You see the point? Mm-hmm. The principle is the same. Should parents have final say? But both conservatives and left liberals or whatever position have a differing view of when it should be allowed. When it comes to a child deciding they are trans, the left passes laws saying they can withhold that from parents. When it comes to parents wanting to give their children sex change surgery, conservatives argue the state should intervene to stop that. So which is it, right? People don't have principles, they have moral foundations, and they have lines that they're willing to cross or not cross. And so both sides will argue my principle is X, but it does not apply. That's my point.
Sure.
So I
do better.
I don't think there's a do better or there's a bad. It's quite literally, if two factions of people have different moral standards, that's it.
Yeah, but I think the problem is not being honest about those moral standards. Like, I think that's the issue, because when we argue for certain principles, I think everybody ends up, at the end of the day, we're all attacking like the shadows and the ghosts of the people that we're arguing against, because nobody actually believes in a lot of the things they're saying, and that hurts our ability to actually move the conversation forward. Like, there's a lot of people, for instance, I think I even saw this on your Twitter, I don't remember the tweets, there's a lot of conservatives that fucking hated red flag laws, and now after this trans shooting, a whole bunch of conservatives are like, well, should mentally ill people have guns? I'm not actually sure. And it's like, what changed?
And that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Is that the principles don't apply to most people, left or right.
Sure. But then there are principles there. You just have to dig a little bit deeper. So like for some conservatives, principles just like fuck trans people. I don't want them to have any rights. Rather than like I don't agree with like red flag laws. And we just have to get to like the deeper positions where they actually are, so we can fight against those positions.